In this tutorial, we're going to create an authentic 80s backing track for your next Synthwave production, and we're going to do it using only CM plugins and a handful of samples we've provided for you to use. The artists who created the music that inspired Synthwave were saddled with the technological limitations of their day. Expensive gear with low polyphony and poor sync options, limited track counts, and poor audio fidelity. Fortunately, we won't be forced to overcome the same obstacles. We can make use of CM plugins to provide our sounds and compose, record, and mix our project in a free DAW such as Traction Waveform Free. Here we've created a new project and have been provided with a default 8 tracks. We can add more if and when we need them. We'll start with that staple of the 1980s, the arpeggiator. For this, we'll bring in an instance of Dune CM. In waveform, this is done by dragging the gray plus widget down to the rightmost section of the track. A menu tree appears from which you can select your plugin. Dune CM might seem like a thoroughly modern synth, and it is, but it's got a nifty built-in arpeggiator that will suit our needs. We'll look to the display where it says Category and we'll click the Show All button. We'll select the arpeggiated category. Just to the right, we can see arrows for selecting the desired patch. We'll select the dance lead. The sound seems straight out of Blade Runner. Let's insert a MIDI clip. In waveform, this is accomplished by selecting the area in the ruler with the blue flags and then dragging the red plus down into it. Our clip will stretch across 8 bars. We'll choose Insert New MIDI Clip. The clip will now appear. We'll double-click the clip's header to open up the piano roll. We'll use the arrows at the top and the bottom of the keyboard to home in on the octave above C2. Next, we'll use the pencil tool to draw in some long notes. This sounds pretty good. We'll name our track, and we'll move on. We're going to add a kick drum. Currently, our full 8 bars are still bracketed in the ruler up top. We'll move the rightmost bracket to bar 3 and create a new 2-bar MIDI clip on track 2. Next, we'll instantiate Zill's Lab Sticks CM on our track. We'll use the Load Kit browser to load in the kit named Rock Mainstream LTZ. This kit has a solid kick drum. We'll use Sticks CM's effects to add a bit of lo-fi grid. We'll go down to the distortion crush effects and activate them. We'll dial the bits down to 10 and crank the sampling frequency down 2. This will simulate the lower fidelity of classic drum machines like the LM1 and Oberheim DMX. We'll open our MIDI clip for editing and enter some kick drum beats. We want it slow and steady for our intro. We want to loop this clip to play over the entirety of our 8-bar arpeggiator pattern. In waveform, looping is activated by clicking the L button in the clip's header. The drum sounds of the early 1980s were defined by sample-based drum machines such as the Oberheim DMX and its sibling, the Oberheim DX. We've chosen to go to the source, hauling out the real deal for a snare loop and a tom-tom fill. Let's extend our existing clip for a full 16 bars. We're going to dedicate track 3 to our Oberheim DX snare sound. It should start at bar 9, beat 1, and loop for 8 bars. There are few sounds that better evoke 80s nostalgia more than gritty 8-bit tom-toms. We've provided a rapid zero-velocity fill of the sort that's punctuated many an 80s television program. We'll bring it into our project beginning at bar 8, beat 1. We're going to have another change at bar 17, beat 1, so we'll copy the tom-tom fill and paste another copy in starting at bar 16, beat 1. We can use the snare loop's clip handles to excise the bits that overlap with the tom-toms just before the end of the bar.